Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Friends, my name is Imtiaz Ahmed Ansari and I am an assistant professor in the Department of Sociology, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Today, I am going to discuss with you the concept of social movement. The subject of social movement is an important field in the study of sociology. It is a specialized field in subject sociology. But before we discuss how the term social movement has been defined and what are its important characteristics, first let us try to understand why it is altogether important to study about social movement. What makes the study of social movement so important to the field of sociology? Now there are different reasons, but here I have listed only three important reasons about the study of social movement. These are number one, uh, they are everywhere because social movements are found in each and every society. We cannot think of a society in which social movements have not emerged or social movements are not found, whether these societies are industrial or agricultural, whether modern or traditional, or whether Eastern or Western society. Social movements are found in each and every kind of society. The only difference in terms of social movement in these societies is in terms of the nature and the types of movement which emerge in these societies. So, for example, in some societies, the social movement may be of a class struggle, and some other societies, the major form of social movement may be a caste struggle, or, for example, a struggle for women's equality. So, it is safe to say that social movements are found everywhere. They are global in nature, and we cannot think of a society without some kind of social movement. A society without social movement is simply unthinkable, and that is why it is important to study social movement. The second reason for the importance, which makes the study of social movement important, is because social movements are an important agent of social change. For example, French Revolution, class struggle, national freedom movements, civil rights movement, gay rights movement. All these are different kinds of movement which emerge at different time periods in different societies. Now, if you look at all these movements, they have brought significant radical changes in the way society is structured and basically the different social components of that particular society function. For example, French Revolution introduced the idea of liberty, equality, and fraternity, which became the basis of the modern concept of democracy. Similarly, the class struggle, which has started taking place around by the end of the 19th century and continued in the first and second decade of the 20th century, brought significant changes in the distribution of wealth or in the overall political system of particular society. Similarly, different national movements were witnessed by different parts of the world. Civil rights movement, which tried to bring about equality between the blacks, especially in the blacks and the white population in America, and gay rights movement, which is again a kind of a global movement, which talks about or which claims equal rights for the gay people, the homosexual people. Now, if you look at all these different kinds of movement, they have brought significant changes in the different dimensions of society. But the most visible form of change which is brought about or which takes place because of social movement is in terms of policy changes. Majority of the movements, whether they are political in nature or culturally oriented movements, they basically try to bring about some kind of changes at the level of policy, at the level of decision making process. So it doesn't mean that social movement is the only mechanism or only reason of social change, but along with other factors, for example, education and technological advancement, social movement constitutes an important factor, an important agency of bringing change and social transformation in society. And that's why it makes it important or it is relevant to study about social movement and how they bring about social transformation in society. The third factor about the importance of social movement is that They raise certain important questions about society, especially related to the moral and political foundations of societies. For example, they question about the distribution of wealth, they question about the distribution of rights and privilege between different sections of society, they question about the way power is distributed and power is utilized and used among the different sections of society. So basically, they create a kind of awareness, they create a kind of the consciousness among the people regarding certain important moral and political values of that particular society. And that is why it is important to study social movement, study about social movement. So now I have given some definitions of the term social movement. Now it must be remembered at the beginning that social movement is there is no universally accepted definition of social movement. Different scholars, depending on their perspective, depending on their objective or the of their way of looking at the society, they have defined social movements in different terms in different ways. And because of that diversity of defining the term social movement, sometimes it becomes difficult to achieve at any one working definition which is universally applicable or universally accepted. So in the next few slides, I'm just going to discuss some of the important definitions of social movement given by different scholars. Here, the first important definition which I have quoted was given by Rudolf Heberle in his book Social Movements: An Introduction to Political Sociology, which was published in 1951. He defined social movement as social movements are a specific kind of concerted action groups. They last longer and are more integrated than mobs, masses, and crowds, and yet are not organized like political clubs and other associations. Group consciousness, that is, a sense of belonging and of solidarity among members of a group, is essential for a social movement, although empirically it occurs in various degrees. Now, if you look closely at the definition of Heberle, we can locate some of the important characteristics or important elements of social movements given by Rudolf Heberle. So, what are the important elements of social movement according to Heberle? These are group behavior, longevity, varied level of organization, and group consciousness and solidarity. So, for Rudolf Heberle, these are the important elements, or we can say the important characteristic of any social movement. That it is not an individual behavior, but it is a group behavior. Longevity, it remains in a society for a longer period of time compared to some other forms of collective behavior. The level of organization or the level of formalization is highly varied. So some social movements are based on highly informal and informal kind of organizational setup, and some movement may be highly formal and institutionalized in nature. So social movements may vary in terms of their level of organization and level of formalization. The last one is group consciousness and solidarity. So every social movement, according to Heberle, involves some kind of loyalty, group consciousness, the group to which they belong, which leads the movement, and some kind of solidarity, some kind of belongingness between the different members of that movement is always present. So for Heberle, these are the four elements: group behavior, longevity, varied level of organization, and group consciousness and solidarity, which can be used in order to define a social movement. The other definition of social movement, which I have used, is basically given by Herbert Blumer, which I have quoted from the book Collective Behavior, in which that article published, which was published in 1969 in a edited book called Principles of Sociology. Now, in that book, Herbert Blumer defines social movements as social movements can be viewed as collective enterprises seeking to establish a new order of life. They have their inception in a condition of unrest and derive their motive power on one hand from dissatisfaction with the current form of life, and on the other hand from wishes and hopes for a new system of living. The career of a social movement depicts the emergence of a new order of life. Now again, if you look closely, it is possible to identify some of the common characteristics or common elements of a social movement. So again, just like the previous definition, which was given by, which we have discussed of Heberle, Herbert Blumer also said that collective enterprise or social movements are a kind of collective action. It is not an individual act or individual behavior. Second characteristics from the definition which can be identified is that social movements are a result of some kind of social unrest, and they are basically started, they emerge with the hope for a better future. So some kind of social strain or some kind of social conflict in society is the can be the possible reason, as well as a hope for a better future or hope for a better society can also compel, can also basically create a kind of awareness among the people to start a movement for the betterment of their society. And the third characteristic of social movement, according to Blumer, is that social movements are change oriented. Now, here I would like to remind that not all movements are necessarily change oriented. So, one of the basic drawback of this definition of Blumer is that all the majority of the social movements are change oriented. They want to bring some kind of change and transformation in society, but not every social movement is change oriented. Some of the movements may be change resistant. They want to basically resist any kind of change which is going on in society. So it is also possible to have change resistant movement along with change oriented movements. Here again, I have used another two definitions, important definitions of social movement. One was given by M.S. Rao in his book Social Movements in India, where he defines that a social movement is an organized attempt on the part of a section of society to bring about either partial or total change in society through collective mobilization based on an ideology. And the second definition, which was given by Sidney Tarot, where in his book Power in Movement, where he defines that social movements are collective challenges based on common purposes and social solidarities in sustained interaction with elites, opponents, and authorities. So if we combine these two definitions, we can list out what are the important elements or characteristics of social movement. So in both the definitions, social movements are collective behavior. Again, it is a group activity. Social movements are based on some common purpose and ideology. So social movements can be initiated because certain section of society or the participants of the movement, they want to bring certain change, certain transformation in society. They act because of their common purpose, common goal, or because of they follow a particular ideology. So the basis of movement can be the common interest as well as the common ideology of the movement participants. Another element is that these movements are change oriented. Again, the problem can be that movements can also be change resistant. They want to preserve the status quo. They can be more conservative in nature. And the last feature is sustained interaction. Sustained interaction here means that it continues. The social movement remains in a society for a relatively longer period of time. They are not short-lived. They are not temporary or transitory in nature. So uh, by combining all these four different definitions, it is possible to list out what are the important characteristics of social movement. But before we go and discuss one by one what are the important characteristics of social movements, first let us try to understand here some of the misconceptions which is there in the study of social movement regarding the use of certain concepts. So there are certain terms and concepts which are commonly used in the study of social movement, which are overlapping in nature. And I've just given three examples. One is crowd behavior, protest, and social movement. So, but all these three are different forms of processes, different forms of behavior. So, crowd behavior is different from protest, and protest is and both crowd behavior and protest are different from social movement. So, what is crowd behavior? Crowd behavior is simply a kind of temporary, transitory behavior which emerge because of certain outbursts. and they are relatively unstructured in nature. They don't need, or they are not based on some kind of structured organization or some kind of planned behavior. So they are highly transitory and unstructured in their functioning or in their behavior. So, for example, riots can be an example of a crowd behavior, or panic or rumors. These can be the examples of crowd behavior. Now, crowd behavior is also anonymous. They are based on anonymity. For example, if you take the example of riots, communal riots, you can't give it a name. They are anonymous. The participants in a riot are anonymous. So that behavior is called anonymous behavior. But crowd behavior is definitely a form of collective behavior. The second concept which is commonly used along with or synonymously with social movement is protest. So sometimes people use the term protest, and sometimes they use the term social movement interchangeably. Now it all depends on the perspective, on the orientation of the person using the term protest or social movement. The same event can be termed as protest by one person, and the same event may be termed as social movement by another person. So it varies how the person is looking at that particular behavior. So protest can be individual or group. So if a student suppose started questioning the fee hike in an educational institution in university, so that individual behavior can be a form of protest, as well as can be a form. And if some other students also join that movement, also join that behavior, it will turn into a kind of group behavior. So protest can be individual as well as group behavior. Now, compared to social movement, protests are short-lived. So one of the fundamental ways in which protest can be differentiated from social movement is that uh, the time period of protests are relatively shorter duration as compared to social movement. So the longer the protest behavior sustains or remains in a society, it comes closer to the phenomenon of social movement. So, but again, protest and social movement are two different forms of behavior. Now, protest can be a part of the larger social movement. So, it is better to understand protest as a kind of a component of social movement. The longer a protest remains or remains in a society, or the longer its duration, it is more likely to be identified as a kind of social movement, and not as a kind of protest. So, uh, social movement, in the study of social movement, terms protest and movement sometimes used interchangeably. As I said, depending on the orientation or the perspective the person using or in using to understand these two different processes. Or the same behavior can be protest at one point of time and can be considered as a movement at another point of time by the same person, because the orientation or the perspective of that person might change over a period of time. So these are the conceptual problems in the study of social movement. Now, social movement is a kind of collective behavior, but it is wrong to say that every collective behavior is a social movement. And as you can see, I have given some examples of collective behavior like rumor, panic, fashion, fad, mob. Now, all these are group behavior or collective behavior, but they cannot be said that they are also social movements. So it has to be remembered, it has to be kept in mind that although social movement is a collective behavior, but not every collective behavior is social movement. There are certain important things which differentiate social movement from the other forms of collective behavior, whether panic, riots, or rumor. So these terms need to be kept in mind while trying to understand the meaning or the terminology of social movement. Now, based on the discussions or the definitions that we have discussed earlier, I have listed here some of the important characteristics of social movement. Now, you can add some more characteristics, but these are the important characteristics of social movement. I've just listed out only six important characteristics of social movement. Now, these are the characteristics of social movement, but it doesn't mean that they are present in each and every movement. In some movement, only 3 or 4 characteristics will be present, and in some other movement, the other 3 or 4 characteristics can be found. So that has to be kept in mind, that it is not possible to have all these characteristics in one particular social movement. So the first characteristic of social movement is that it is a collective behavior. As I discussed earlier, that in most of the definitions, all the different scholars have considered that social movement is not an individual behavior, it is a kind of collective behavior, it is a collective activity. So, for example, a person is standing in a street and started raising slogans against the government on certain public policy. That individual behavior cannot be considered as a form of social movement until unless that person is joined by a large section or another by a group of people, and they also start raising slogans, or they become part of that group behavior. So individual acts cannot be considered as social movement. It has to be a group behavior. Second, every collective behavior is not a social movement. As I discussed in the previous slide, that every social movement is a collective behavior, but it is wrong to say that every collective behavior is also a social movement. For example, panic is a collective behavior, whereas people raising their demands, or people asking for equal pay for men and women for same profession or in the same profession, it can be called as a social movement. So that difference has to be kept in mind. So first important characteristics which can be found in almost every definition given by different scholars, that it is a collective behavior. Now the second important characteristic of social movement is that social movements are always based on some common interest or purpose. So every social movement emerge uh, because they want to achieve certain objective, because they intend to achieve some common purpose, some common goal in society. So it is always a common interest and common purpose which brings different members together, and they start a social movement in order to achieve that common interest or common purpose. Now, that common purpose can be the social conflict or the social inequality prevailing in society, as well as these common interests can also be a hope for a better future. They want to bring certain transformation in society. So, the basis of common purpose, or the nature of common interest and purpose, can vary from society to society, as well as from the social movement to social movement. Some movements may be more politically inclined, whereas other movements may be more inclined for addressing cultural issues or symbolic dimensions. So, but some common interest is always found in each and every kind of social movement. Third characteristic of social movement is group solidarity. Now, because of common interest, the members, the participants of social movements feel a kind of belongingness, feel a kind of solidarity with other participants of that movement. So shared objectives naturally leads to some kind of solidarity, some kind of sense of belongingness, which brings the movement participants together. Sometimes ideology can also be the basis for group solidarity, because the members who have joined a movement, they share the same ideology. Now the ideology can be different. So different ideologies may also lead to different levels of solidarity. So these are the collective behavior, common interest, as well as group solidarity are the three characteristics of social movement. Uh, Another characteristic of social movement is organization. Now, the organizational structure of different social movements, or what is called in the field of sociology, social movement organization, it may vary from social movement to another social movement. So some social movements may be highly informal in nature, without any kind of clearly defined rules and responsibility among the different movement participants, to the most highly formal and highly institutionalized social movement organizations, where rules are clearly laid down, and the responsibility of each and every member, each and every component of that organization is clearly laid down, clearly formulated. So Movements can be categorized in terms of their level of formalization, level of organizational structure. Another characteristic of social movement is that they are relatively long lasting, or what we call temporal continuity. So, but it is difficult to say what should be the minimum time period to classify or to call a behavior, collective behavior as a social movement, or to term a protest as social movement. So there is no defined time period to differentiate social movement from other forms of collective behavior, but generally social movements are long lasting, they are more permanent in nature, they are not transitory, they are not for short duration. They remains for a longer period of time as compared to protest behavior. The last characteristic of social movement is that they are change oriented. It is true that majority of the social movements are change oriented, that they want to bring some kind of social change and social transformation in society, but there are also some movements which may be change resistant, or what we call counter movements. So counter movements are basically those movements which resist any kind of changes which are taking place or which is supposed to take place because of certain policy changes. So these counter movements or change resistant movements, basically they are status quoist nature. They want to maintain, they want to preserve the status quo, the current system, the current structure of that particular society. So, social movements can be both change oriented as well as change resistant, but majority of the movements are uh, basically oriented toward bringing some kind of change, some kind of social transformation in society. So, if I have to summarize what we have discussed, we can say that social movement is one of the basic fundamental component of every society. It is found in each and every society. You cannot think of a society in which some movements, some social movements do not exist. Uh, Majority of the movements are definitely change oriented, but it is also possible that some movement may be change resistant. So it varies from society to society, from time period to time, from one time to another time. It is sometimes becomes difficult to conceptualize or to understand the exact meaning of the term social movement, and that problem emerges because of the way the term social movement has been used and explained. So many a times people use the term protest and movement synonymously, interchangeably. Or for example, other forms of collective behavior like panic and mob violence, they are also considered, they are also used synonymously as a form of social movement. So because of the conceptual overlapping in the use of the different terms, especially crowd behavior, mob behavior, protest, and social movement, it makes our understanding of social movements sometimes difficult and complicated. We also discuss some of the basic features of social movements, like that social movements are collective behavior, they are not individual behavior. Collective social movements are change oriented, they want to bring certain kind of change and transformation in society. Social movements are relatively of longer duration, and some other important characteristics. Thank you.